Well, Jeff Gerard, number 10, has had a mediocre start to 1980. It took him several matches to get into first grade. For such a talented player who was a major success on the last Kangaroo Tour, it's apparent the Parramatta Club are expecting bigger things in 1980, starting, I would think, today. The statistics of these two sides since 1973, they've met on 18 occasions. Parramatta have won 11, Balmain 7, points 4. Very interesting. Parramatta 316, Balmain 245. Way in deficit there. Parramatta have won the last 3 premiership contests. The referee in today's fixture is Mr. Greg Hartley. Balmain running from right to left in their black and gold uniform. Cronulla receiving the ball, Dowling with the first touch away to Glover. Kangaroo type runner. Very powerful runner. High knee action. Just outside the quarter. Oh, there's a bust almost. Yes, it's right through. Hilditch comes and takes the pass from Wynn. At about 8 metres up through the middle of the Balmain ruck. O'Reilly beats him. Back inside to O'Reilly. Gerard finds a gap and gets over the halfway line, and it's a beautiful low tackle to pull him down from young Wayne Pearce. Parramatta looking good in the opening stanza. Beatson got the ball away, and it was stolen from him and it's stolen back again. Now there's a funny chain of events. O'Reilly. Parramatta certainly have started with a will. They've taken play when 5 play the ball is quite a distance. Gerard looks for support, gets it to Sterling, loses it. Schaefer has it for Balmain and tackled and knocked on in the Balmain quarter. Two balls on the field at the moment. Now Oliphant's got it. It's a clean heel to Parramatta. Sterling falls on it. Dowling chiming into the blind side of that ruck. Remember, he scored, I think, 13 tries last year as the fullback. Beatson, nice run around move out to Patterson. Patterson gets the step away, gets it to Cronin, did well to take that. Unloads nicely. It's gone out to Wynn, then further out to Levy. Parramatta certainly using the ball quickly. Wynn, Gerard on the inside. Came very close to the ruck, and they're within 10 metres of the Balmain line and looking pretty good at the moment, this Parramatta team. Edge, O'Reilly. Lovely pass to Wynn, and he's only 2 metres away on the last tackle. Gets up and plays it forward. It's a try. Now, whether he moved off the mark, I don't know, but there's a try on the opening minute and a bit. I'd like to see that again, whether he actually took a step forward, but there's a try in the opening minute and a half to Peter Wynn. Appeared to do it okay. Let's see it from head on. Now this is the setup of the play. O'Reilly came well and unloaded. That was a good pass. Now the cover was there. Schaefer just walked away. He should have stayed directly in front of him. No, perfectly legitimate. The ball rolled into the in-goal area and he fell on it. That's a good try. Goal kicker Mick Cronin. 79 record, 104 goals from 164 attempts in 24 matches. Success rate 63.4%. He also scored 15 tries. Back to the kick. And it's hooked slightly away. No score in that area. Balmain 0, Parramatta 3. In not too far past, I'm talking in hours, have signed John Lang, the former Australian and Queensland Rugby League hooker. And he's at this moment at the sports ground watching his new side, Eastern Suburbs, go around against North Sydney. And it's interesting, Barry Ross, to note that his contract expires with the Brisbane club that he's with at 12 midnight on next Wednesday after they play their first Tooths Cup match.
Yes, just a coincidence, Rex.
Just a coincidence.
And the Queensland Rugby League have put a $1,000 transfer fee on him, I believe, too.
Parramatta lined up very much for up the middle play. As you can see, people running close to the ruck. Levy's found a gap and skirted off Beatson. Going nicely. It's a tackle from Thompson. Slows him down. Here's another try coming to Parramatta. And they're really cupping them at the moment. Going. The referee has called it up. The referee's called it up. Offside pass. See it again. That was Growth in for the try. We'll see it again. The Beatson pass to Levy. The big step. Got himself into the clear. Now here's the pass coming up. Well, that one's going to be an argumentative one, I would suggest. It's not as if Mr. Hartley is actually loved in the Cumberland region. That could have been a bit of shepherding there. Morris came behind one of his own teammates. I think Balmain's slightly in a state of shock at the moment. Swinging arms. And Hilditch being spoken to for a high tackle. And there's a woman on the field. What have we got a woman on the field for? It's a Parramatta fan and she's laying down the law. You cannot pull that triumph, she said. Greg Hartley's not impressed. Some of the players have got her by the arm and dragging it. Gerard has got her. He's dragging it to the sideline. We've got two policemen. I thought one was with guns drawn, but he's got his hand on his pistol. Now the girl is lifted back over the fence, and I suggest she might have an interesting afternoon dodging bobbies. Woo-wee! It all happens. Well, I've seen everything. I love the cool way that Hartley kept his demeanour there. Didn't show any excitement at all. Anyway, Balmain, there was a kick for touch, and there's another walking by Hartley of Parramatta who infringed the radius, and it'll be a kick at goal. I was saying that Balmain are a little bit out of step at the moment. I'm a bit out of step after that. Let's have a look at this fellow, Wayne Miranda. He's a most interesting player. And his 1979 record, 60 goals from 92 attempts in 18 matches, a success ratio of 65.2%. Miranda. Unsuccessful. Just hooked away fractionally. Didn't seem to veer a little bit from left to right, but that may have been hooked that way. The score remains as it was. Parramatta 3, Balmain 0. Oliphant takes that well. Not an easy bounce to get. Oh, welcome. It's a strong bit of defence from Ron Hilditch. Morris. O'Reilly in with a swinging arm. The referee says no, no, no. It wasn't a high tackle. Oliphant. There's Pillen, first touch for his new club, I believe. Good to go. Little lock forward. Thompson again uses his pace very nicely, unloads it well to Miranda. Pass has gone astray and Parramatta are in possession. That was a silly pass from Miranda. There was little chance of success. Dowling, Cronin, and now Balmain being penalised for inside the 5. And Greg Hartley putting on his best little show pony jog as he went over to that award that penalty. I suggest prop forward that should be playing in the game but hasn't been able to because of a knee ligament injury, would be champing at the bit at the moment. Steve Lavers is with Barry Ross on the sideline, and we'll get a shot of him in just a moment and get a comment from him as Parramatta come up with the run-around move here, and Sterling makes a half break. Pass coming out along the side to Dowling. We'll just hang on to this football here for the moment because it's Parramatta all the way. Hilditch swivels back into Gerard. Gerard there to Beatson. Beatson nicely. A pass away there to a player that was crashed down, Patterson. About 8 metres out. Beatson on the burst. Ricochets off to get the pass to Sterling. Sterling away to Hilditch, who's running close to the ruck. All the Parramatta players are very close. All the forwards are running in a tight bunch. Pear's tactics, obviously, to crack Balmain up the middle at this early stage. Sterling, good hands. Oh, he's unloaded. It's a try, is it? No, he's held up only about a foot from the line. You can see the distance there. Wynn got a nice pass to Gerard. Cronin trying to use that strength of his and does so to Dowling. Dowling's in under the post. It's a good try. Cronin stood up there just like a forward to unload. A good forward, a good ball distributing forward. See the lead-up play. Wynn pulled that pass out of the air. It was Gerard. Then it was on to Cronin. Cronin, the enormous strength of the man, to Dowling. And that player's pace took him over underneath the post from head on. All Parramatta. Wynn. Gerard did well. He's livened himself up today. Look at Cronin. Just wrestles his way through the tackle of Schaefer. And a good try. What's Steve Lavers think of proceedings at the moment?
There appears to be a few gaps up the middle. Young Kerry Hemsley playing his first premiership game. A very tough and hard player, but perhaps a lack of experience against Big Artie and Bob O'Reilly.
Barry, I think that there's 6 of them out there. If they all get together and move up on the Parramatta pack, they should be able to nullify it. That's what we're looking for today anyway.
Well, there's a scrum into Balmain. Pearce, Schaefer. There's solid defence. They've driven him back 2 yards, Gary Spears. He came on the burst, but no way through there. Oh, there's a bit of silly football by Balmain. Cronin has it now from a breakdown in play. Wynn unloads nicely to Levy. Caught but not put down through the defence again. Wayne Wigham guilty of a bad defence there. Filipina and Corowa. But Levy now goes again after that initial tackle. They've got to stop the Parramatta players and put them on the ground. They're not doing that. Wynn, Sterling, Patterson, Gerard, long floating pass. Cronin takes it magnificently. Darling's into the line, looking for support, can't get it. Just inside the Balmain quarter. Patterson, O'Reilly looks for support. The pass has gone astray. Miranda has it. All Balmain at the moment. And into touch. Silly football by Balmain. They're doing every conceivable thing wrong. The scrum win, and Alford makes a meal of that, but he does knock it back, not on. The scrums at this stage are 2-all. The penalties are Balmain 3, Parramatta 1. From Pillen. I think the combination of the new look Pillen in the side, who's not played with this team before, and Hemsley, who's just lost the ball playing his first grade game, is a little bit too much for the Tigers to overcome. There's so much lack of cohesion in the side at the moment. Penalty against Balmain, offside play. Cronin the opportunity for another kick at goal. Kicking into the breeze that apparently, according to the flag on top of the flagpole there is, or the goalpost there is southwest. That kick is unsuccessful. Score remains 8-0 in Parramatta's favour. As in previous years, we're continuing with our weekly TV awards to the best footballer of our weekly telecast match. The player selected will be designated the 7 Big League Footballer of the Week. He'll receive $400 and appear on Sports World the following week to receive his cheque. There's a penalty going from that scrum. First time I saw Eric Groth, the young Parramatta wing 3-quarter play, I thought that there was a potential international. I haven't had occasion to alter my views. Have a look at the statistics on him, and very, very quick. Sporting a Burke and Wills beard at the moment, but a very good footballer. To the kick with Cronin. 3 metres outside the quarter, 15 metres from the sideline, high in the air, hooks it away again. It's his 3rd attempted goal, 4th attempted goal. He's had success with 1 only. The score remains Parramatta 8, Balmain 2. Daly misjudged that kick very badly. He ran forward to it, actually. Good altering of direction. Levy, Sterling beats it on the inside, unloads well to Hilditch, threw it anywhere. O'Reilly has it. It's Parramatta who are doing the running around of this Balmain side. Beats it, unloaded a pass. Sterling a look forward, out to Cronin. Cronin got a pass away, it's gone to ground. Levy slaps it up, gets it to Edge. Edge just burst away. Out to Sterling again, who's featured twice in the move out. Then to Groth, the wing 3-quarters, busted 1 tackle, 2. There's a try for you. There's the lad I was talking about. That's classic football. football, classic wing three-quarter football. He was hemmed in against the sideline. Did you see how low he went down with his body to knock the defence? And he's knocked that defender, Wayne Pearce, right out of the way. See it again. This pass, I thought, was forward. However, Sterling, that one looked a bit marginal too, but Cronin, what a pick-up there on the move by Levy. Then to Edge, who did very well. Sterling again. Now Growth from a standing start. One. Look at the way he leant into it and bang away he went. Now from head on it'll look even better, I think. You'll get the idea of just how low down he went to get it. Knock that defence. Levy, clever stuff from Levy, but then we expect to see that from this player, Sterling. And notice Growth is standing flat-footed and still. Bang, one defender, Miranda. Look at that. Crawled along the ground. That's a great try, really. Starting to become an embarrassing scoreline. 11-2, Parramatta. Cronin's kick is successful. He misses the easy ones and kicks the hard ones today, but that's a fine kick. 13-2. Barry Ross, any rumblings in the Balmain camp?
Well, there's a lot of concern. They're not very happy with the way things are going. Wayne Pearce, the lock forward, received an injury trying to stop Eric Growth in that last movement, and the coach is back discussing that with Dennis Tuddy at the moment.
Here again, Parramatta using the same tactics constantly, and Balmain have found no counter to it. Of keeping the forwards in a tight sort of phalanx going up the field and turning the ball back inside on many occasions. It's a shocking pass. Oliver has the ball, got a fairly substantial knock in the back from Arthur Beetson, which might have done him a lot of good. Whittaker trying to get Balmain at least moving forward. Morris a dummy half. 10 metres now from the Parramatta line. Oh, Hemsley, man, you've got to watch the ball. It wasn't a great pass, but it was there to be taken. You can't put old heads on young shoulders. Oliver. Out it goes. Oh, it's gone been thrown away by young Lance Thompson. Maybe the bubble might have burst on this young fella. He's had such a marvellous introduction to first grade in the last pre-season matches. Inexperience shows out in funny ways. Edge, O'Reilly, that's a bad pass. Patterson let it go behind him, but no knock on. Edge, Sterling, nice step. I remember being shocked with Sterling's pace when he caught Steve Martin from behind in the pre-season match against Manly this year. Parramatta back on the move again with O'Reilly. Keeping the ball alive well. In Patterson, Cronin, back to Patterson. Loses the ball, Balmain have it. Not doing a lot with it when they get it, but Oliphant, Olsen, Filipana, Schaefer, Corowa. Corowa's round his man. Comes to Dowling and can't get round him, and gets an assist from Glover, who enjoyed tackling Corowa from behind, I'll tell you. Oliphant, Thompson, Pearce, Pillen standing out wide and not on the move when he took that up towards the quarter line. Could have been a penalty there, I thought. Gary Spears on the surge into the quarter. 13-2, Parramatta lead. Rod Morris, last tackle. What are the tactics? The kick or the result? She goes with the toe poke from Lance Thompson. Dowling stands his ground. The ball's gone astray. Who's got it? It's a knock on. Whittaker went chasing after it, but it's been picked up in the end goal by Wynn. Wynns gets it away there to Levy. Levy can't get round his man, Filipana. Grabbed him by the jersey and swung him to the ground. Cronin. Hilditch playing his 100th first grade game and a skipper for the day. When does Ray Price come back, Barry Ross?
Next week.
I'll be flying the bunting for the Parramatta fans for that one.
Yes, that's the one they're all waiting for.
Rob O'Reilly. Again, the tactics very evident. Very close to the ruck, Gerard. Oh, nicely to Patterson. And very well to Cronin. Cronin's caught well, gets it to Hilditch. On the halfway line, Hartley's down there somewhere having a look to see who's got it. And up it comes to Wayne Wiggum. There's an overlap here if they move it. Thompson back inside nicely to Schaefer. Schaefer has Corowa but couldn't get a pass to him. Corowa. Oliphant selectively to Miranda, who's appeared on the left-hand side of the field. Only 9 minutes to go. Balmain needs some points. Corowa. Hemsley. Oh, he gets a nice old introduction there with a good low tackle and a good high tackle. Both together. His body went quiver, quiver. Oliphant, clever to Rod Morris. Morris back inside to the flying Corowa. Corowa dummies. As if he was going to do an overhead basketball type pass, but kept the ball. Oliphant, one of his long ones comes out. Thompson. Schaefer. And has the ball stolen from him from Glover. By Glover. Penalty against Parramatta for holding the Balmain player back. Killen held back by, I think it's Peter Wynn. 7.5, 8 minutes to go to half-time. 13-2 the score. This match can be seen next Sunday morning on the replays on Channel 7 just prior to Sports World. Whittaker. O'Reilly really putting in a strong performance today in defence and keeping up with the play, well and truly in attack. Oliphant, Morris, hard Gerard type tackling. Oliphant using the backs. Thompson, Filipano, the dummy, cracks one. He's walked about 4 yards. There's Whittaker, he's in! That's a good dummy hard try. I think Filipano could have been penalised for walking off the mark. I thought he was going to walk down to the bay there for a minute, and the referee interpreted that, I believe, as him being held and pulled by the opposition. See it again. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3.5. Certainly went off the mark, and the Parramatta player stood there and watched it. And Whittaker, who's done this many times. Now, the full lead up to the play came with Filipino coming on the inside, attempting to crack it. He does indeed crack the first tackle. Now, watch the little walk forward. He was being pulled by Wynn, though, so that's the reason the referee said no penalty. Good decision, I think, by Hartley, now that we see it from that position. Third attempted goal. It is successful, so a very strategic score there by Balmain. 13 points to 7. Schaefer from the kickoff. Up to the quarter line. Lightweight player this, but a goer. Here's Whittaker again on the burst. And very nearly sliced himself into the open. Not short of pace when he gets a bit of a go on either. Oliphant cuts out a man, unloads it. Pillen standing wide, but he and Filipino not working in well together there. Filipino still going. And a couple of Balmain players running interference for him then by the look of it. Schaefer. Oliphant through the double. Changes direction and a good head-on tackle there from Ron Hilditch. Stopped the rot as far as Parramatta were concerned. Corowa. Well, that's a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. Filipino didn't take his give a good view of that. Well, Glover's got a bit of an assist. Gets the pass away nicely to Cronin through the dummy. Growth back on the inside. Watch him fly. He's a brilliant player. This lad is fallen, unfortunately for him. A bit of shepherding there. That's a definitely shepherd. And that was silly because he would have scored the try anyway. See it again. It was Dowling, not Levy. Dowling impeded number 11, who probably wouldn't have got within a bull's roar of him anyway. And I think that's a squandered try, and the referee, again, I think, was correct in that. Cronin, marvellously well, he very nearly dropped that. But look at the acceleration of this fella, and that low Fenton with either hand. Oh yes, this is a representative player in the future. Back to the normal action. Try squandered there. With 4 minutes to go. Oh dear me. No advantage for forward passes, but the referee again has pulled up the Parramatta move. Let's see that again. The crowd really giving him a workout, and he's even indicating by how far forward he thought it was. That pass was forward. It was a good 2 feet forward, as a matter of fact, so a good decision again. Well, now, Balmain, a lucky side to be only the distance they are behind, 13-7. Hemsley. He's going to have to be a bit more subtle than that. Just don't run at the opposition, my boy. You've got to run at holes, not men. Pillard. A little bit of a step. That makes it a bit more difficult for the opposition. Whittaker. Morris. Oliphant. The dummy. Error situation. Parramatta 9. Balmain 8. The scrums at this point in time are, of the completed scrums, 3 all. The penalties have gone way Balmain's way, 8-3. Oliphant. Defence up very quick. Thompson, the pass was given and he wasn't watching the ball. Bless my soul. Thompson really should never have given the ball, but the lad who was trying to accept it wasn't watching it. Cronin had a top game today. Look at this. Back to Patterson, out to Growth. I love to see this man run. He's got it nicely back into Levy. Parramatta playing fine football. Gerard on the surge. Back to the little halfback there, Peter Sterling. Doing it oh so easy. Parramatta at the moment. O'Reilly. Win. Beautifully to Cronin. Everybody running onto the ball. Looks great. O'Reilly, Win, and loaded it to Levy, not to Glover. And the last tackle coming out. What are the tactics? Penalty against Wigan, failing to let Glover get to his feet. Cronin from 5 metres in from the sideline, about half a metre outside the quarter. Kicking across the breeze. From right to left it'll go. Struck that very true. And just going back a fraction. And that's another 2-pointer and a good one. Parramatta 15, Balmain 7. That's the half-time score. So, with the scoreline at 15-7, the scorers have been, for the Parramatta side, 3 tries. Gary Darling, Eric Growth and Peter Wynn. For the Parramatta side, Cronin has kicked 3. Left to right in possession in the black and gold uniform. Schaefer. Barry Ross has been in the dressing rooms. He's heard it all. And what's the story?
Well, Balmain coach Dennis Tutty had plenty to say. He was very upset that the lack of communication between these fellows, they just weren't talking. Moves were not going off, and they're not moving up. And of course, the main concern with Dennis Tutty was that the side was not holding the ball. This half, we could see a little chip kick. He wants that to be tried, and also the ball to be moved out wide for the centres to try and make some breaks. Parramatta, meanwhile, John Peart, he's very happy with the way things are going, and naturally so. He wants the players to concentrate around the rucks a little more in defence, around the dummy half particularly. He doesn't want any gaps up the middle.
All right, you've heard it from Barry Ross, who was in the dressing rooms. Number 6 tackle, a little kick over the top. That's a shocking kick by Schaefer, really, of no design at all there near your own quarter to do a little chip over the top like that on the 6th tackle. It should have been kicked for distance. All he's done is put his team under immediate pressure. And that is a very thoughtless little kick in my view. Sterling. O'Reilly, beautiful pass out to Levy. Levy's gone. There's another one. Look at this, Dowling. Yep. And that you can put down to the stupidity, unfortunately, of a youngster who just didn't know when to do the right sort of a kick. Well, Gary Dowling. Now look at this. O'Reilly, beautiful pass. Levy's pace just too much, and Dowling backing up on the inside. He goes in for his second try, and I think this could become an embarrassing afternoon for the Tigers. From head on, Levy's acceleration really was quite exceptional there, and the beautifully timed pass to Dowling. Doesn't he wish he could score them like that without a hand being laid upon him? Cronin's 7th kick at goal is successful, and the score now moves on to 20 points to 7. 4 tries to 1 at the stage, no sign of it being over. Struck hard in each half, scored early. Bubba busts the first tackle, gets over the quarter, still going, fighting his way forward. Never actually stopped until he's put on the ground, this man. Stephen Edge runs from dummy half. Gerard close to the ruck. Hilditch got a pass away, it's a bad one. But nowhere near a Parramatta player, and Balmain have got it back on the halfway. Now they've got to do some real work. Pillen got an 8-metre gain. O'Reilly the tackler. Oh dear. The pass was not a good one. By no means a good pass from Spears, but Hemsley really having a day he's going to want to forget. Again. Oh. He's not going to penalise for this. I think he says that they're both as bad as each other. Throwing at a ball, Sterling. About 8 metres from halfway. Leadson, Wynn, Hilditch, Dowling standing there in the middle of the field. Just over the halfway line now, 20 points to 7. Parramatta doing it very well and very competently. Hilditch, Sterling. Peter Wynn winds himself up to go and does just that. Leadson still managed to get his pass away to O'Reilly. Gary Ross has got the captain of the Parramatta side, Ray Price, with him. We'll be having a talk to him in just a few seconds. What's Ray's thoughts on the position, Barry?
Ray, today, how do you think things are going?
Well, we're using our big blokes up the middle purposely, Barry. You know, we've gone fairly terrible over the last couple of games, so we've got to redeem that. But our guys are going very well. They're backing up, keeping the ball alive. For big, fat, slow men, we're going all right.
They certainly are.
Will you tell him? Will you tell Arthur and Bob that he said that? I won't. Parramatta. He's Peter Wynn. Really threadbare defence. Really threadbare defence. Really doesn't bear repetition, the replay of it. It was so easy. Wynn merely meandered to dummy half, picked it up, did a bit of a swivel, found the gap. On the line, of course, is a try. That's his second. Cronin aiming just outside the right-hand upright. It's a beautiful goal. Look at that, right over the dot. Magnificent. Cronin comes up with number 5. So the score now, a real embarrassment. 25-7. Dennis Tuddy with a look of a coach that's, well, probably...
Going back to how well Cronin is kicking today, Rex, you may have noticed an article in one of the Sydney Sunday papers about Mick Cronen's 72 matches with Parramatta, 760 points. That's about 10.2 a game, and he's already got 10.
Yes, indeed. Very valuable man. Well, at least Oliphant tried something different, that he tried to kick it and regather it himself. He forced the error. There's a possibility Balmain may conceivably get the ball back. They don't. Sterling makes a nice break instead. And a lot of the crowd starting to get agitated and move a little bit. That could have been a Shepherd. The pass back inside to Peter Wynn, who's having a top game. Gets a pass away, it's gone to ground. Austin Filipina, who's not been sighted of nobbies in this game, has an opportunity to run, gets over the halfway line. Not probably fair to say that Filipina hasn't played well. He hasn't had the opportunity to play well. The Balmain forwards have let their side down badly. Quick hands needed. Thompson bombed it there. It should have gone on the outside. Parramatta have got it back on the inside, and the inexperience of these two youngsters showing up a little bit today. Overlap on the outside there. Gerard hammers at Balmain again. Patterson, the dummy. Ooh, through and not tackled and stopped. The referee says play on. Win. Beatson does a hurdle job. Get in the Olympic Games squad over that one. There's Gerard plugging the middle again. Look at, oh, and it stops. A top stop by Hemsley. Let's give him some credit. He's had an ordinary day, and it's good to see him do something effective. There's a good bit of defence too from Wayne Pearce. Last tackle. O'Reilly. Got a pass away rather roughly. It won't be a try. It won't be a try. Peter Wynn hopefully was following on, but he knew that it would be pulled back. That was a forward pass. 25 Parramatta, 7 Balmain. 5 tries to 1, 5 goals to 2. The scrums at this stage in favour of Parramatta, 6-3. They've won the only 3 scrums decided in the second half. The penalties have gone 8-4 Balmain's way. Another scrum win to Parramatta. Edge doing a mighty job for his side. Wynn tearing holes through this threadbare Balmain defence. Sterling was tackled on suspicion. Dowling has the ball knocked out of his hand. It's a penalty for reaching through and knocking the arm of the dummy half. Cronin now with the opportunity for another 2-pointer. From almost directly in front. Mick should kick this pretty near out of the ground with a breeze. He holds it back a little bit. There it is, 29 points, or 27 points to 7. Good start to the season for him. 12 points so far. Dowling. O'Reilly runs from dummy half, does well, gets it to edge, Edge is in the clear. Nicely to Hilditch. Hilditch stood up in a tackle over the halfway line. Still plugging up the middle, and it's to the eternal discredit of Balmain that they haven't attempted to do something about it. That pass too hard from Beatson. O'Reilly has it. 6 to go, says the referee. Edge. Sterling. Cronin. Oops. I think he expected Levy to take that one. Glover forced over the sideline. Or Growth forced over the sideline. There's another Parramatta scrum win. They've won the last 4. Dowling chiming into the back line. Sterling. Well, that pass was a yard, half a yard forward. The referees reacted and given the penalty to Balmain. That breeze playing a bit of a part now, Barry Ross?
Yes, quite strong down here at ground level.
Favouring Parramatta.
Yes.
Come on, Bear, keep it going.
Just sitting here with Ray Price and Graham Wynn from St George. Rex, we're talking about Peter Wynn, how well he's played. It is his first premiership game for quite some time after that nasty head knock last year.
Yes, he's had a top game, scored 2 tries and looked devastating every time he's run. Oliphant, Thompson. Ooh, Pearce did well to hold that. It came low, boots and a bit late. He didn't put a lot of weight into that fall. Morris, Miranda. Plenty of defence there. Riley really getting through more work than I've seen in this game than I've seen in 2 other games.
Let me just make a correction, Rex. I was corrected very quickly by Graham Wynn then. Peter Wynn did play in the semi-finals last year for Parramatta.
Oliphant. Not going anywhere, Balmain. Pass away to Oliphant from Morris on the halfway. They look a disorganised group at the moment and have done since the start of the game. 27 points to 7. Parramatta doing it ever so easy. Well, they win a scrum but get a scrum penalty against them for an incorrect feed, so Oliphant conceding the penalty there. Cronin's kick. It's a magnificent kick. Have a look at that from halfway. That's an extent of the breeze. You can see the touch judge flag. This has only come up in the last 35 minutes. He's only about 4 metres away. Sterling. Pulich. Riley bouncing around out there like a 2-year-old, wanting the ball. Here he comes. Doesn't get it. Beats him, gets it, and charges straight ahead. Well, that was a badly played ball. 6 to go, says the referee. Patterson, dummies. On to Cronin. Cronin, a model of concentration when he comes on the burst like that. There's a try, surely. Gerard, ever so easy. Literally no defence. Beside the post. Parramatta 30, Balmain 7. Sterling responsible for the pass. Gerard for the surge. Just too bad, isn't it? So Parramatta surge back into premiership contention after a miserable pre-season competition. Cronin's kick at goal is successful. It's his 7th goal, and the score moves on to 32 points. Parramatta 7, Balmain. Much inexperience in this Balmain side. Too many players that just haven't played enough first-grade football. I refer to Thompson, Wayne Pearce, Kerry Hemsley, and of course Pillen. Of course, Ron Pillen hasn't played for the club before today.
And here we have the change now. Stephen Sharp wearing number 23 going on in place of Arthur Beecham. I think Sharp will lock the scrum with Peter Wynn moving into second row, and that'll be the change. Young Sharp is the under 23 lock forward.
Stephen Edge will restart the play. Sterling, Gerard, Wynn, who's looking for work today. He was the leading try scorer among the forwards until his injury last year, wasn't he? Or the leading try scorer in rugby league?
In rugby league last year, that's right. 11 tries at the stage when he got hurt.
In how many matches can you remember?
I think that was 14.
Yeah.
Maybe 13. I think he played one game in the semi-final or something.
Parramatta 14, Balmain 12 in the error situation at the moment. Wayne Pearce. Pillen. Oliphant. Morris. Back to Pillen. They've got him over the sideline. No, they haven't. Perilously close to it. Oliphant. They're trying the little kick now, but that's only giving the ball back, and the referee says play on. No interference. Miranda dives to Dowling. Can't get to him. Filipina can, but Dowling gets up. Edge has it. Edge has had a good game. He's been involved in everything and been pretty selective around the dummy half situation, giving the ball crisply and quickly to supports. Illich, back to Gerard, back then to Patterson, who drops it. Balmain have it. It's Hemsley who's come up with it. Whittaker makes the break, but nobody there at all backing him up. Oliphant. Thompson. Well, they've left it behind again. Sterling has it. 32-7. Parramatta lead. Gerard. Win. One-handed pass to Cronin. A bit of a shepherd there. Back inside it comes. Who's got it? Balmain have come up with it. I think it's Ron Pillen who pulled that one out of the air.
Greg sitting here having a stampede with Arthur Beach, and Arthur, not bad for an old man.
Yeah, I suppose not too bad for a 35-year-old bloke.
Arthur, there's a lot of gaps up the middle today. Was that preconceived? That was your plan to play the Balmain side up the middle?
Well, you know, probably Bob O'Reilly and myself, we're used to playing up the middle, and we've never played any other way. We played on the old rule, and probably that still should apply under this rule too. You've got to dictate play up the middle. And if the forwards can't take charge, or they don't give your backs much room.
A very happy and well played Arthur Beecham.
Yes, Artie doing it pretty well out there today. No criticism at all of his play. Filipina sets the ball on the ground. Miranda falls on it, and again the succession of errors continue with Balmain losing the ball with monotonous regularity. The ground is virtually starting to empty of Parramatta fans. 6 scrums to 0. Parramatta have won in the second half. 6 scrums to 0. And they stand at 9-3 at the moment. A great performance by Stephen Edge. And they've won one. The crowd really give a roar about that. Schaefer. 15 minutes to go. Corowa. Oliphant. Pillen.
Come on, Eric, it's all right.
Oliphant. Thompson. Filipina. Russ run tackle. Passes on the ground. Sterling has it. Thanks very much. One of the few occasions that Parramatta of Balmain have looked like doing anything. Look at this kick from Levy. Well, he did everything he could, Miranda, but actually his knee knocked it over the sideline in the dive. What a day they're having out in the other grounds. There's been players sent off all over the place. Quick hands. With the overlap, a 2-man overlap actually, as Thompson takes it away. He's gone a bit too far. Wigham can't handle it. Won't be a knock-on, I don't believe. Filipina has it. Play on, says the referee. Filipina driven hard. That's a good tackle and into touch. Neville Glover uncompromising in his defence. 32-7. Parramatta. Another scrum win. 2 in a row Balmain have won. 3 in a row. Now Oliphant. Corowa, who's unloads well to Lance Thompson. About 30 metres out from Parramatta's line. Corowa, if the ball can be moved quickly, there's an overlap. But only Whittaker there, no back. about a rabble at the moment, Balmain. They didn't have a back in position to run the ball then. Pillen loses the ball. O'Reilly falls on it. Dowling pulls that one out of the air. Jeff Gerard. Ball went backwards according to the referee, and Sharp there is the man to secure possession. Sterling. O'Reilly, run around. Sterling. Last tackle coming up. Dowling does the little kick over the top. Schaefer takes it well on the first bounce. Makes a good break. Good run. Too little and too late, but showed a bit of flair. Midway between the Parramatta quarter and halfway, Oliphant. Morris loses the ball. Sterling again falls on it. O'Reilly. Win. Back to Cronin. Just on the halfway line. Patterson. Nicely back into Sterling. Kicks ahead. The chase is on. Hilditch. Dowling. Who's going to get to it? Glover's coming hard. Corra was there. Gets the ball and gets a serve from Neville Glover. Lance Thompson about 18 metres out now from the Balmain line. 32-7, Parramatta lead. Pearce. Hemsley. Oliphant. Nice pass. Out to Olsen Filipana. Then on to Schaefer. Back to Filipana, who touches it and catches it. Still going. Got a pass to Wiggum, who was on his knees. Then the Morris is going to score. He'll run 35, 40 yards here and score. Pursued by Hilditch. And Hilditch does a great job of defence to get to him, but it was too late. 32 points to 10. Well, that was a spectacular try, make no bones about it. There were some funny bits in it too. See it again. This is how it came about. The curious bit here, as Filipana gets this pass. Now watch it, up in the air, and one-handed, pulls it in, and his pass can only go to a man who was on the ground, Wiggum, who got to his feet and unloaded to Morris. And that was highly spectacular. And it makes the scoreline look a little bit better. The enthusiasm of Hilditch to chase there when you're leading 32-7 is pretty to be applauded too. Watch the juggling. Up and down. Wiggum struggles to his feet. Morris Johnny on the spot to take it away. My G can move too, can't he, the big fella?
Yes, only his second try scored with the club too. He scored 1 in 20 games last year, Premiership football, and now this one. And as we talk, Rex, Balmain have made a change. Des Bonner wearing number 20 is on, and Kerry Hemsley is off.
Scores the earlier games today in the under-23s. 22 points to 10 in favour of Parramatta. The reserve grade, 16 points to 12 in favour of Parramatta. Cronin to kick off. So Shadows stretch halfway across the field. Pearce. He's tried his heart out today, but shown inexperience on a few occasions. Pillen being hammered to the ground, just on the quarter line, Balmain's end. Pillen, about 10 metres outside the quarter. Nice pass to Miranda, and out to Wigan, stretching out nicely. And loads back on the inside. It's a bad pass. The referee says play on. Filipina has it. Filipina's bouncing around, gets a pass nicely to Miranda, back inside to Corowa. Corowa can't unload. He's wrapped up, only about 10 metres away. That was vintage Balmain football, but 6 to go, says the referee. Gary Spears. 5 tackles to go. Where'd he go? Oliphant. Losing ground. The way to go is back left. There's only 3 defenders on the Parramatta side there. They've gone the wrong way. Bonner, the replacement, playing at number 20. Gets up and plays it forward. Filipina in behind the defence. Just as he was about to pass the ball, it fell out of his hands. And Parramatta come up with it.
From the fourth round, North Sydney 25, each 20. Penrith 20, Manly 13. Western Cronulla, West 11, Cronulla 10. Canterbury 28, Newtown 12.
Cronulla. Growth appears to have done something to his leg. Balmain back in possession. Growth hobbled badly there. His left knee, he's holding.
Here comes Graham Atkins on, so obviously that's a bad injury. Growth has had a few problems with that leg injury in the 2 or 3 seasons he's been playing grade. Graham Atkins wearing number 18. The replacement's been made now.
Okay, Balmain standing very deep. Long floating pass out to Wigan. Wigan gets around his man. Can't get a pass back on the inside. And Cronin just gives him an assist and pushes him over the sideline.
Very good.
Coming up to 6 minutes from the end, the scoreline 32-10. Parramatta have come up with another scrum win. Sterling. Recollect they led 15-7 at half-time in Parramatta. Oh, right underneath. Neville Glover. Will he go? Patterson, will he go the distance? Neville Glover right the first time. There's a solo try. There's a solo try. And that will be a try that Dennis Tunney will have a little bit to say about, because the atrocious defence of Balmain just allowed him right through. See it again. And here he comes. Neville Glover underneath a high tackle from the replacement player, Bonner. Another one there. He should have been stopped there, and again there. And blimey, that is atrocious. And watch the head-high tackle that failed. Shows a lot of determination. He runs always the same way, never tackles when he's put on the ground. They fend there, got rid of Miranda. And really, it was just too bad to be true. But great if you're a Parramatta supporter, and great if you're Neville Glover. Penalty, or the kick at goal, is successful by Mick Cronin. And he's had a bit of a field day. 16 points, is it? 37-10.
Thanks. I'll get a word with John Peart in a moment when you're ready.
Yes, I wouldn't think he'd be very happy about proceedings today.
Yeah, John's got a terribly long face here beside me. John, a lot of problems in the pre-season. A lot of bagging Parramatta got, but certainly not today.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with them. They've done very well.
And what about this business of playing up the middle? We've talked about that a bit during the program tonight, and that was preconceived.
Well, the first 20 minutes, we've got a tremendous attacking side, especially in the forwards. They all unload well, and it's just a matter of a few weeks before they put it together.
And with a great display by those forwards, Ray Price back on the wing next week.
Yeah, we'll have to find a position for him.
And here they go again. Cronin unloading one-handed beautifully to Levy. Levy skirts the defence, tries to get a pass away, and lost it forward. Referee Hartley in front of the player there and saw that pass, or that ball go out of his hands momentarily. There's another scrum into Parramatta. I don't think their scoring's done yet. There's a pass that's gone forward, though, according to the referee. He was right in line with it. Just see it again. It's purely academic at this stage, but yes, well, the referee was directly in line with it, and he said it was, so that'll be good enough. The Balmain have got the chance in the dying stages to make the score look just a fraction better. The scrums have gone 11-6, Parramatta's favour. 8-3 in the second half. The penalties have gone 10-7, Balmain's favour. The errors are Balmain 21, Parramatta 18. The number of times each side has conceded the ball back to the opposition, that's a large tally on such a good day. Filipona, Schaefer. Pass went astray. It was touched by a Parramatta player in flight. Corowa has it. I thought he got that in an offside position too. On the halfway line, with only a couple of minutes to go by our clock, not official time. Referee signifies last tackle. Morris, Oliphant, Thompson, Schaefer, and that's the 6. Metres inside the Balmain half. They've won another scrum. Win. Patterson, and the pass again has gone forward. And I think he's right again, you know. With only 50 or so seconds to go, unofficial time. It's academic, but scoreline that reached 37-10. Parramatta aren't going to be terribly worried. 7 tries and 8 goals to 2 tries and 2 goals. 37-10. The scorers have been Gary Dowling 2, Neville Glover 1, Eric Groth 1, Peter Wynn 2, Jeff Gerard 1, and Cronin has been responsible for 8 goals. For the Balmain side, Neil Whittaker try, Rod Morrison try, and there have been 2 successful kicks at goal. Phillip. That's the end of the section. I think Balmain will be pretty glad to get rid of that lot too, to get it out of their system. There's the losing coach, Dennis Tutty, who's got one hell of a lot of work to do.